Okay, so I'm Grasswalker, we're off to a decent start, 2 wins. Now, hopefully it doesn't all go downhill and we just lose. Oh no, the game found it way too fast. Quick draw was quick on the draw. I clicked Q and he was there waiting for me. Immediately a bad start. We have a pretty poor hand right here. It has one of the 3 colours, a cycling card that may be able to fix itself. So there is the temptation to take this hand, play 2 swamps, cycle, and hope, especially when we're going second, so we have turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3 to find a land. Because we have 2 land drops. We have a land drop for 1 and 2, so we have 3 draws to find a land and a cycle. We have 4 draws to find some land. I mean, I've baited myself into taking it now. If we draw a land in this first turn, this hand's good. If we don't draw a land... Okay, it fixed itself. We'll play the plains so I don't go double swamp and knock myself out of the general enforcer. But this hand did in fact fix itself. We had 4 draws to find a land, which should happen, but I've seen some bad stuff happen in games. This is a very, 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 very bad start for me. He has a 3/5 that draws him a card every single turn. I don't think we have any kind of answer to that. We could cycle to find an answer, but I don't think we have one. We don't have anything that just reads destroy target creature. We have Lurking Deadeyes, which we're close, but either way we'll need to start developing our board. But this game is probably lost. He just gets 1 extra card until the game ends. Whether it's ramp or whether it's draw, it doesn't matter, but he's getting a ridiculous amount of value right now. If he's choosing to attack with that, that works for me. It's like we could pacify this card, but that would be absolutely pointless. So I think we're going to Hunted Nightmare. We're going to Hunted Nightmare. We're going to swing with the Hunted Nightmare, and we're just going to hope for some kind of Suffocating Fumes play to kill this Parcel Beast. Yeah, if we attack with the Nightmare and he double blocks, and we Suffocating Fumes, that's actually pretty lit. Because it will reduce his attacks to 2. Alright, he's just going to tank it. That works as well. Which point... We haven't drawn land since. This feels bad. I think we might just have to hard cast like an Indantha Crystal. I could pacify the Parcel Beast, but that doesn't stop him generating value over time. Pacify Cycle might be on the table here. Casting a Crystal, taking like 7 damage. I'm not keen on that. I think we gotta Pacify Cycle, which is very unfortunate. Because he was holding up 1/1 counter and like draw a card, which is pretty strong. This will stop the Parcel Beast hitting me, and it will stop the Hornbash growing it mattering. So he doesn't have any good instants, because he chose to Hornbash before. Okay, I don't have enough mana to cycle. That was the issue there. Thought I had 4, didn't. Don't know why I thought I had 4, but I thought that. Oof. Alright. He's killed by 4/5. This game's looking bad. We need to top deck a plains, maybe. Any land, really. The land issue definitely came into play, which is unfortunate. Well, that's a land. It's not one we can use right now, but it is a land. So we will play it. We can hold up Suffocating Fumes to get a nice block using the Enforcer. Could also just play the Untitled Crystal. We don't really need 5 mana. What we do need is to stop getting hit in the face. So we will attempt a Fumes situation here. But he is just going to get 1 extra card every single turn until we lose. Especially in red, which might have burn or haste creatures. This is especially dangerous. Alright, show me something. Let's see if we can get a 1-for-1. Okay, I think I'm okay with that. So he spent a shark to kill my Fumes. I don't take any damage, and the Enforcer is bounced. So at the end of that, it was a 1-for-1-ish. 1-for-1 with a bounce on top. But now his Shore Shark is like... He has this gigantic creature that can't do anything. Go Crystal Enforcer. Could just play a Cub Warden. Just playing a Cub Warden would be interesting. Could also just play a Hemophage. I think we just play a Cub Warden. And then we will attempt to mutate on top of the Cub Warden. Alright, he's getting his 1 card a turn. This is painful. Because he is going to outvalue the hell out of me. He's just going to keep getting them. And I've lost. That game kind of sucked. I don't have any interest in watching him jerk himself off that he had Wilt as well. He's also main ticking Wilt in draft. I'm not sure why you would do that. Every review I've seen says Wilt is atrocious, but I had a bad feeling about that game. I called it early. It queued too fast. The guy was a quick draw. He got land screwed, and like he played well and had a good deck. It was... I don't think anything would have helped save that. Mulligan possibly, but this is an atrocious hand. That's also an atrocious hand. That's better, but now we're down to 5. We will keep the Mythos and the checkpoint, because the Volcapeak can't be cast anyway. So what we need to hope for is a Plains, and then the Mythos is our way to get back into the game after having to mulligan so far down. That's rough, because they keep a thing. Because unless he plays a worse enchantment, I can't get rid of that Ominous Seas. Which I guess is maybe why that other dude was main decking Wilt, if everyone's playing decent enchantments. Pacifism, Ominous Seas, or at least a couple I can think of. Alright, recycle, get a lifelink counter, or it's just a 3-mana 3/3. It's pretty good. And I want to swing into that, so... We are again in an uncomfortable situation where last game the dude was just getting 1 extra card every single turn until he wins. This time, the longer the game goes on, the more Krakens he will get. He will at least get 1 Kraken, probably. There's a chance that he might get 2 or 3 Krakens if he cycles a lot. Because he has 36 cards in the deck. Well, he's playing a load of cards. Turn off that Snapmare. I'd rather tap it down than arrow it straight away, because we have the chance to draw something that can trade with it naturally. May as well hit him. Every point matters. It's halfway to a Kraken. We do not have a good answer for an 8/8. He's swinging, we can't just let him gain 3 life, so we'll have to block. Hopefully he doesn't have some kind of weird trick. If he does, it'll be a 1-for-1. The trick for my 3-3. There's the trick. Double strike does not hit twice because there wasn't enough of a creature to hit with. Don't have anything to mutate on, which is unfortunate. We don't have double white for the Mythos. Looks like we're gently touching him for 1. Every point matters. Now let's turn off that lifelink. Right, we found ourselves a possible win condition. The capital grows if it would take damage, non-combat damage that is, and we have a Divine Arrow. So we can make this like a 5/7 flyer. Which has the possibility to be super neat. We won't do that yet though, because we want to gently touch him for 2 damage. He is so close to a Kraken. There's a chance he cycles 3 times here. Okay, Capture Sphere. There goes our possible win condition. However, now the Mythos of Snapdex is an answer. Because we can choose which enchantment he keeps. We can choose that he wants to keep the Capture Sphere and the Ominous Seas will die. We have stuff to mutate onto, but we definitely don't want to mutate onto that. It is tapped. Pacify the Splendor Mare. Pacify the Splendor Mare. Hit him for like 1 damage. Then we won't have an answer to the Ominous Seas when it comes. So we're just gonna bonk him for 1 again. Every point matters. And that's it. We're gonna have to hold up Divine Arrow to kill the Splendor Mare. Oh wow, he's Zenith Flared. That's a card, again, people usually consider quite terrible. That was 4 mana for 2 damage. That's not a good rate on damage. I guess he is in a cycling deck. Ooh, wow, that's gonna be huge. We have it become a 5/4 dinosaur with haste. Alright, well, we can kill one of these 2 cards. I think we want to kill the 5/4. We can pacify the other one. We can't pacify the enchantment that sometimes drops into and out of being an enchantment. I guess the Death Touch will somewhat protect us from the Kraken. It'll dissuade him from swinging. We again are completely land screwed. We have a couple of 5-drops. We need double white for Mythos. There's only 2 mountains in the deck. We got both of them. Zenith Flare hit me for 11. Wow. We don't want to take all of that. Happy to trade a 1/1 for 8 life. Life is a resource, but that doesn't mean you can just throw it away. Looks like we're pacifying the Kraken. The more we have to contest the board as well, the less valuable the Mythos of Snapdex will become. Because this is meant to be our big get back into the game card, but we're kind of fighting the board desperately, trying to stay alive. Still don't have it. Could play General's Enforcer, could play Valiant Rescuer. There's no point mutating onto a creature that is paralyzed. I think we will go double red to cycle. General Enforcer doesn't really do anything. We're digging at this point. We might get a clutch thing if he plays like 2 or 3 cards this turn. If he plays like 1 or 2 creatures with his 4 mana, and then we get a huge Mythos. Another Capture Sphere. And we're dead. I called it. I mean, Sometimes you just lose a couple games in a row. Forced them all to 5 due to abysmal hands, and then we had 3 land in that 5, but we just didn't really get anything else. So another loss chalked onto the board. Have to try not to let it get to you too much. And I am going to queue again, even though we're at 15 minutes into the video, because if I just lose this, like, that's it, it's done, the series is over. Whereas if I leave it for next video and then just immediately lose, that's pretty awful content. Alright. Going second. Feels bad with the Hunted Nightmare, because it means he might get a 2 or 3 drop. He had a 2 drop, I guess. Pacifying that won't do anything. Our curve is still going to have to be Nightmare into Marshall into Oracle. And then if he puts the Death Touch counter on something good, that's okay, because we can pacify whatever has the Death Touch counter on it. Put on his Mana Dog. Wow. That's ballsy if you ask me. Like, it's already a prime target for removal being a Mana Dog, but to give it Death Touch is, I guess he really thinks that if it's gonna die, it would have already died. Like, if I'm gonna kill the Mana Dork, I'll kill it, whether or not it has the Death Touch token on it. Three colors, he's in bug. Interesting. He's trying to threaten me with a 1 when I have the opportunity to hit back with a 4. It's very interesting to me. I'm happy to trade 1 for 4 if that's what you'd like to do. That hurt you a lot more than it hurt me. We can pacify a creature, then Divine Arrow, but I think just slamming down another 4 power of creatures is quite good here. Get the Summoning Sickness out of the way. Looks like we'll just be casting the Oracle on. 5 mana 4/4 Vigilance is okay. It threatens Mutate later on. We don't want to put it on or under this and then just have just a liability on the field. Okay. Hemiphage on the Farfinder. So that's going to grow, he's going to gain a bit of life. Nice trade a Marshall for the Hemiphage. It's tempting. He had to dig for a land with the Vigilance creature, and he hasn't played one since. Do I just hit back for 3? I think just hit back for 3. Oh, we have the Mythos. That's pretty nice. Because we have the colors to support it. So if we want, there's a huge blowout just waiting to happen at some point for us. There's a chance that he double blocks the Menace creature. He's just letting it happen. So I think that we want to maybe pacify the Hemiphage, and then I'll dissuade him from continuing to mutate on top of it. Because every time he mutates on top of it, he's just throwing a card in the bin for the effect of me losing 2 life and gaining 2 life. We have Divine Arrow for something else that swings. We're trading hits, but I still feel like that favors me. I'm not looking forward to being proven wrong, but he keeps hitting me for 1 when I hit it back for like 4, 5, 6. He's got the life gain and the Symbiote though. Alright, he's got a Phase Dolphin. think we just take that 2. Maybe this is when we Mythos. So we only have one other card anyway. But this board is actually kind of okay. If we chump it, we Mythos, we keep the Nightmare, we get rid of everything he has. Then he's got 3 cards in hand to rebuild with. Okay, Mythos plus Boot Nipper, which is quite nice. So we'll swing, see what he does about it. So what do I want to leave him with if I Mythos? I guess just leave him with the Hemiphage, because it doesn't do anything. Alright, I'm going to take this. I'm going to leave him... It's dangerous, because if I leave him with the 4-4... then there's a chance he gets rid of the enchantment and he's still in the game. If I leave him with something like the Glimmer Bell, that's not very good on its own. I'm gonna leave him with the Hemiphage. I'm gonna take the risk. I'm gonna Boot Nip that touch. So if he does answer the pacifism, he still has to get through a Boot Nipper. He just lost a land because the Naturalist died, so he's on 5 still. He had 5 last turn, he still has 5. That means he top-decked a land, so whatever's in his hand is pretty much what he couldn't play last turn anyway. When he went Dolphin plus Glimmerbell. I'm going to be able to put the Oracle on the Boot Nipper, that's going to be pretty big. And hold up Divine Arrow. I have a good feeling about this game. It's feeling good. I'm not sure if we Mythosed too early or right at a good tipping point. He's cycling, that's a good sign of desperation. Alright, so 4-4 Vigilance Death Touch. That might just be game. It is! Alright! We got the most important win in all of the draft, which is getting from 2 wins to 3 wins because of the jump in the amount of gems that you'd lose otherwise. It's an entire draft's worth of gems. Sometimes the drafts cost 750. So yeah, we made that jump. So thank you guys for joining me. We'll see how long we can ride the train of Final Life next video. Thank you for joining me. Bye.